Today, as we complete our 99th year, we're beginning our celebration of the 100th year of Chinese Presbyterian Church. So we need to celebrate our history, our past, and give thanks for the blessings that God has given to CPC. I came to CPC in the summer of 1980. Now that's more than 29 years ago. And I think that makes me the oldest or the longest serving minister who's ever been at CPC. The one possible exception is the first minister, Reverend Ma, whom some people say served about 30 years or so. Some things will never change. God never changes. The Bible never changes. The gospel of Jesus Christ will never change. But how we communicate our message and how we make the gospel relevant to the people around us, that can change. Let us be inspired by our history and invigorated for the future to build a greater church for God's kingdom.
From the foundation of time, one voice,
God's voice,
has spoken.
Through mankind to mankind.
One voice,
God's voice,
spoken through kings,
prophets,
slaves,
and through his Son Jesus,
his ultimate voice of love,
grace,
and sacrifice.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Through him all things were made. The Word was life, and that life was the light of men.
And one voice breathed, and man had life.
The light shined in darkness, but the darkness understood it not. Man left the light for a world of darkness and sin. In the fullness of time, God sent a prophet named John. The prophet testified concerning the light so that all might believe and find, declaring the true light who gives life to all is at hand.
And one voice cried, "Prepare, prepare, prepare the way of the Lord."
Silently lining the streets of the town, no one is saying a word, listening for a particular sound, like nothing we've ever heard.
You know, the congregation grew,
Right.
and they decided they could build it themselves, and so they did.
And then I heard that you and Grace Wong were inspirational and the driving force behind the daycare.
It wasn't daycare; it was only half day.
Right.
And two of the kids, their great grandmother brought them to.
Right.
One of them, she brought him because she wanted him to learn Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
The first time he really talked Chinese was one of the little girls hit him, and he came, 先生佢打我. And we all
Then in a moment he rides in the street, Jesus the one we adore, laying our branches and clothes at his feet, our praises like thunderclouds roar, and together we sing 1,000 hosannas. We worship the King with 1,000.
He raised us up all from the church. We were baptized at the Chinese Presbyterian Church. And my mother and father became very good Christian, and they worked hard, from the church. And the church is just like a home for us.